Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out the Laboratory of Mayhem. And today we're going to be unboxing the WandaVision Vision figure from Hot Toys. This is the second release of the Red Vision figure. And to be perfectly honest, I have not been like the world's biggest Vision fan. Always liked him in the comic books. A little disappointed that he doesn't have like the actual look of the comic book, but I think overall it's a pretty good middle ground. Uh, I saw the prices that the new version was getting, or the old version, the original version from Age of Ultron was getting. The prices were flying up on eBay, so I figured this would probably be my last chance to get the red version before they just go with the white Vision guy. And I've never been a big fan of retcons anyway, so I like the original version much more than the white one. So I'm going to cut this guy open very, very, very carefully. Always be careful with your knives. Never cut towards yourself like I just did. Drum roll, please. Just kidding. The shipper box is a little beat up. Has me a little concerned about like what's going to be inside, but turns out that everything is pretty good shape. Okay, so once we free him from his suffocating plastic bag with the very, very sticky tape. One thing about the tape that Hot Toys uses, it's very gummy. Must be all the temperature changes and stuff going from shipping container and coming all the way across the ocean, hot temperatures, etc., etc. Okay, so now the packaging on this thing is outstanding. It's really nice quality. The outer sleeve on this has a textured feel, and it feels like the lines like that are reminiscent of like the old cathode ray TV screens going across there. And we have the look of the barrier thingy that Wanda had created, and he sort of like got through a little bit. Okay, slide the sleeve off. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Ta-da! Okay, now here's the figure itself. Take a look at this thing and see what's involved. And my first reaction is like, wow, that's not a lot there. It's just Vision. He's got a stand, a couple extra hands, and some plastic. I'm like, for 250 bucks, I was expecting, well, I don't know, throw something in there with him. But, I guess I wasn't the only one that saw the resale values going up on the original version. So Hot Toys, they know what they can charge. They know their business model. And you can't argue. They put out a quality product. But, man, this is sort of bothersome. Okay, feels something in the bottom here. Okay, get rid of the little bottom piece there. Okay, now there's something underneath here, and we're going to pop this out. And this is a diorama backdrop. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like, the barrier thing that he is breaking through, and he can kind of sit in front of it, stand in front of it, I guess. It's kind of strange, though, that the it's not very big, and Vision has one of the stands that, can actually elevate him so it looks like he's flying. Okay. It looks pretty good. Very, very thin plastic and cardboard. I gotta say, like, for 250 bucks, this feels kind of cheap. It's I mean, it looks decent enough, and I don't think that you really need something terribly impressive with it, but like maybe even just plastic, like some kind of sheet of PVC or styrene instead of cardboard. A couple of the edges are bent in a little bit. Shipping. Um, Not a big deal for me because I'm going to be displaying him in a larger diorama, but you might want to keep it in mind if you are ordering this. Okay, so now we're going to pop him out of his little plastic prison. My camera placement really needs some help here. Trying to do this on the document camera instead of the straight on Logitech. Oh, look, this cape is stuck. I was wondering how they're going to do the cape, if it was going to be two pieces or one. He just kind of shoved it in the back there. Let me take all these little plastic thingies off, and he's wearing like little plastic protectors on his gloves and boots and his neck, which I appreciate. He doesn't like paying a whole lot of money for an action figure, and then all of a sudden there's some, well, that's scuffed, and that's broken, and that's chipped. That's no fun. Now, the first thing I notice on this figure is how muted the colors are. It's really, the camera makes him look much more colorful than he actually is in person. It's more like a blue-green instead of like an actual green. The red details on him are very subdued, which, I mean, cool looking figure, but he doesn't really like jump out at you. There's nothing vibrant about it. Like the original Vision, is a very vibrant like Kelly green and yellow, and really caught your attention on screen. Even the cape I expected to be a little bit more vibrant. It's very very sort of dull and flat looking. Now the imaging on it is nice, and there's a couple of wires that are in the cape. It allows for posability. The texture on the suit is actually really cool. Very similar to the Spider-Man costumes, if you've had a chance to pick any of them up. It's kind of rubbery feeling, which gives me the impression that you have to be very careful with how long you leave it in a given position, because these things can crack over time if they're left that way. Okay, so checking it out, kind of sturdy. The articulation it's a bit stiff, from the suit. I really don't know how to work that. So we have this little stand that says WandaVision. We have the pipe that sits in there, the flexible pipe that you can put the little clamp on and make him look like he's flying. You have two extra pair of hands, fists, and open palms. And then you have some wrist pegs. So you get Vision with a stand, two extra pairs of hands, an extra pair of wrist pegs, and a little cardboard and thin plastic diorama base for $250. Now, I gotta say that my Spider-Man figure that I just got a couple months ago was really impressive. With for $260, you get the classic suit Spider-Man with about 6 pair of hands, interchangeable eyes, the scorpion tail, the cardboard and plastic backdrop that he has, and a bunch of webbing that goes along with it for $260. And this one here is $250, and you get a figure, 2 pairs of hands, a stand, and the cheap diorama background. Now, I mean, it looks pretty cool, but it's and I think a lot of this has to do with they saw the pricing that Vision was bringing for the resale on the original Age of Ultron figure that was released, and I do kind of like that they were kind of undercutting the scalpers. The scalpers were charging, like I said, about minimum of $400 for a Vision figure if you could find it. So, yeah, but that's pretty much how he is. The one thing I should touch on is the articulation. Um, the arms have a little bit of, pretty good amount of movement in the up and down positions, but the suit is very restrictive. Um, you can't really bend the arms forward too much. The legs don't even quite come up to a 90-degree mark. It's more like a um, I'm going to say like 65 degrees. You can actually bend the legs. Uh, so I mean, it's not really that big of a deal if you're going to have the vision in sort of a flying or standing, looking intimidating posture. But if you wanted to put him into some kind of fighting position, it's going to be pretty tough. Uh, I've been working with this a little bit, and yeah, the suit is very, very snug. I almost wish that they had done a little bit of a different design so that the legs were more freed up, and like often what they'll do is put like a vest on the figure itself so that the sleeves and the shoulders can move more freely and are less constricted by the suit itself. Um, that's like really my only complaint with it. If I had to put this on a grading scale, I would say that the figure itself. We'll start with the packaging. Packaging is definitely a 5 out of 5. Some of the best looking packaging I've seen in a Hot Toys figure in quite a while. Um, the figure itself, the sculpt and the paint applications are great. There's a bit of metallic thing on the gauntlets, metallic sheen on the gauntlets. Um, the hands, look, hands are pretty much just typical, Hot Toys hands with just cast in red. Uh, the shoes, the feet do tend to fall off rather easily in this figure, and it's a little bit of an annoying problem, but not a deal breaker. Um, the the boot tops are well painted, not a lot of detail on them. The suit itself looks really impressive. It's got texture to it. It's got like some underlying designs kind of like laid into it, so it looks a little bit like circuitry and whatnot. Um, Very impressive. Uh, Body is not stockier kind of bodies looks pretty hefty. Um, Everything looks pretty good. Uh, Paint applications, the attachment with the cape and so forth. But you can see the limitations with the articulation because of the suit are pretty significant. You're not really going to get this guy into too many too many positions. The accessories that he comes with. Oh, I'm sorry. So the figure itself, I would give a good 3 and 3/4 stars, maybe 4 stars in out of 5. Um, Looks great. Like I said, the colors are rather muted. I'm pretty sure it's sort of like screen accurate, but he doesn't really jump out at you a little. Kind of blends into the background a bit. Um, the accessories that he comes with, uh, and I'm going to say it's value wise, it's about a 2. Like I said, he only comes with the. You can see here like the lack of articulation in the legs. The suit really, really restricts this guy into getting into any kind of dynamic positions other than maybe flying and twisting a little bit. Um, so, I mean, if you're okay with that, like I said before, this is the version of the Vision that I wanted. The red version is probably my last chance to get him. Um, the fabric and the material are really impressive. I wish they had designed it a little bit different, like I said, so you could get some more articulation out of the shoulders and the arms because they really don't move very much at all. Um, the legs are very, very restricted as well. Um, Again, good looking figure, really, really impressive looking. And if this is one of your go-to characters, yeah, I would definitely recommend picking them up because, like I said, it's the last chance you're going to get for the red one. Um, Other than that, like the detail on the stand is pretty much the same. you're you're pretty much at the mercy of Hot Toys if this is what they're going to be putting out. Now, I did see a third party putting out a Paul Bettany version of the Vision, and now that um, as I'm seeing this, like I definitely I know Hot Toys would never make anything like that. So it's probably if you choose that kind of route, um, you might want to pick that up. Um, I usually don't display like the unmasked uh, head sculpts on my figures. I'd much rather have them look like the superheroes, but obviously it's your choice if that's what you want. Um, Goes well with the Wanda figures. I'm seriously thinking about getting the one that I have. The Wanda figure that I have is actually a Kit Bash copy of the Elizabeth Olsen head sculpt from Age of Ultron, and this one's going to be a little bit um, different with the WandaVision. It looks a little more impressive, and I like the sculpted hair on it. I think it works a lot better for this character than the rooted hair. But yeah, it's a good quality figure. Um, Everything with mine comes intact. The feet will pop off very easily. There's not much in the way of accessories. The little diorama display base that comes along with it is kind of cheap feeling. It's not very heavy. If you're putting in the back of a detail, if you should be fine. But it's a nice looking figure, but there's nothing that's really impressive about this. He really is just a chance to get the red vision before you don't have that opportunity anymore. Value wise, I could see this guy like a few years ago would have gone for like maybe $180, and wouldn't have had a problem with that. But you add an extra 70 on top of that, and it hurts a little bit. But good looking figure. I'm going to enjoy working with it and putting up on the display piece. And thanks for watching. Check out leave any comments and questions you might have, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.